When the crane was about halfway up, however, the pony suddenly stopped what they were doing and sat straight up. Looking surprised as a brief flash, each one a different color, came from the neck area. Tails, Shining, Spike, Cadence, Discord, and Eggman looked surprised too. What had just happened? As they watched, the crane began to recede until it vanished completely, despite Discord still giving off his magic. Raymond Das having fallen to a rump once he was released from the looked at the other ponies and asked, "Did you guys feel that?" Fluttershy nodded. Rarity asked, "Do you suppose we can?" I was like, "Nah, I like to let y'all. Maybe we can still talk to Twilight?" Pinky said nothing. Still a little bit angry with the author. Discord wasn't instantly angry when he saw the element bearers seem to be resisting to his magic. He quickly turned when he overheard what they were saying. He called, "You want to talk to Twilight? Be my guest. See how successful you are now that she's turning her back on all of you, and Sonic's turned his back on everything he's ever known." He stabbed his eagle-taloned fingers. In response, the s'mores Sonic and Twilight were in started to smell like ice cream. As he began to shrink, something suddenly shot out from inside, breaking off a small part of the cracker on top. The piece began to slide across the ground on a melting marshmallow when it landed. Discord stared with a raised eyebrow, but as the marshmallow covering the lining flew off, he grinned quietly while Tails, Spike, and the ponies stared in horror. Sonic and Twilight were on top of the cracker piece, but they changed. They were both completely gray. Even Sonic's red shoes and gold buckles had grayed out. The formerly blue hedgehog crouched over the unicorn with a fierce look on his face, pressing her down against the cracker with his right hand, while his left hand held her magic of element crown. Twilight had a look of complete submission on her face, like she didn't care about whatever Sonic was planning to do to her. Discord laughed, floating out of his Eggmobile and hovering over in the air, said, "Yes! The other elements may have resisted, but those two are still mine. Sonic will make a fine evil king, and Twilight will be my pet for all time." Sonic whispered, "No, Twilight, Sonic." Even Tails looked afraid of what Discord had done to his older brother and best friend. "It looks just like that copy that appeared when Eggman hit with that weird beam," he thought. While Discord was laughing, Eggman was looking on disbelief. "Impossible. I could see him being able to affect Twilight without messing with her friends like he did before. But with all that chaos energy he's absorbed over the years, Sonic is basically the element of chaos itself. How in the world was Discord able to affect him?" He didn't notice Discord was holding up a two-way mirror and looked at it. At the angle it was tilted, he could see the reflection was showing Sonic and Twilight, and it showed. He quickly put the pieces together from what he was seeing and glanced down at Discord. "Discord, you idiot! Can't you even tell your own magic apart from someone else's?" While the cloud across his head spots, Tails, Spike, and the ponies looked up at Eggman in confusion. Sonic and Twilight both looked up in realization as they kept sliding. "Dr. Eggman's already seen through the spell," Twilight muttered. "Well, it's not like we were counting on fooling them for long anyway." Sonic shrugged. He stopped pressing his right hand down on Twilight's back, though he still held her element of magic crown in his left hand, and said, "Might as well did it now. The whole gray thing is depressing anyway." Twilight nodded as she lifted her head up, her magic surging into her horn as it was surrounded by a magenta aura. A second later, and a brief flash later, her elusive spell was dispelled, and both she and Sonic were restored to their normal colors. "Much better," Sonic nodded, looking down at himself in Twilight's lavender coat. Spike, Tails, and the ponies looked relieved at seeing them, but Discord stared in disbelief. "What? That's impossible!" he exclaimed as he floated back down from his Eggmobile. "Yeah! Twilight had to have a whole entire character moment in order for her to break free. What the hell?" "Oh, please, Discord. You didn't think your magic would actually affect Sonic, did you? Dark Gaia couldn't mess with his head, and that thing's a lot older than you are." "Excuse me?" "A lot older than you are." "What?" "A lot older than you are." "What?" "Stop! No. When you say something is a spirit, that usually implies, especially when it's connected to an element as old as chaos, that usually implies that it would probably be around longer than the formation of planets. This is just trying to weaken and lessen Discord just to make Eggman look better. I'm kind of torn. I love Eggman. And I love Discord. But I do have my principles, and when you're writing a crossover like this, you shouldn't be lowering one villain to prop up the other. Besides, this is a little... until I see a proper explanation, this is starting to feel a little Deus Ex Machina. Discord growled, slamming his lion paw down on Eggman's console. Why that little? A second later, the Cracker, Sonic, and Twilight slid down to a stop, and they were jumped off of it. Sonic following behind Twilight as she and the other element bearers ran towards each other. When they reached each other, Discord tried to order the Time Eater to attack them, but it would respond. He glared up at Eggman and yelled, "Get them! Get them now! I won't stand for this trickery!" Eggman held a hand to his chin. "Pipe down, Discord. I have my suspicions, but I want to see where this goes." Down on the ground, Sonic remained behind Twilight, still holding her crown in his left hand and opting to stay back until he was needed. Twilight looked at her friends, eyes puffy and red, and a few strands of her two-tone mane sticking up at ends, unable to read her expressions. "Girls, I know you're mad at me, and I've got something I need to say," she started, trying to find the right words to say. Applejack stepped forward, wearing a stern gaze. "We got something we need to say too." She held her gaze for a moment before it changed to a solemn expression. 6 breaths were taken at once. "I'm sorry!" The elements chorused. Well, except for Pinky and Fluttershy, who are opting out of this fic. Twilight stared at her friends in shock while they did the same. "What? Why are you sorry?" They sounded again in unison. Twilight shook her head. This was starting to get silly, and to say she was surprised would have been a huge understatement. She asked, "Hang on, why are you girls apologizing? I'm supposed to be the one who's sorry. What are you sorry for?" Rarity spoke for everybody. "For a lot of things, darling. Things we should have recognized long ago and taken care of rather than letting them fester and get worse for you. But I don't understand. What did you girls do that you're apologizing to me for?" Twilight asked. "How about all those times we didn't have enough faith in you? Like when you were looking for something to write about Friendship Report and we all pressed you off?" Rainbow asked, trying to keep from shouting. "Blah, blah, blah, blah. Boring. I'm gonna read some Power Rangers comics. Anybody with me?" Biggie said happily. Fluttershy refused to speak up, just glaring at the author, tapping her hoof very, very angrily. "I am very disappointed in you." By the way, again, I repeat my previous form. Of course people will ignore her. Again, people never ask, what if she was wrong? It's a simple question. She got lucky. That all goes for all of us, dear. We haven't been very friendly towards you for some time now. Twilight shook her head, unable to believe what she was hearing. "But that's not your fault! The Changeling Queen fooled everybody! And even without that, I was acting like a fool! Just like those other times you mentioned! I wasn't doing the things the way I should have because I let my emotions get to me! You had every reason not to listen to me! I'm at blame here! I'm at fault! You hear that, audience? I, Twilight Sparkle, can admit I'm at fault! I'm not perfect! I don't think I'm perfect! I don't even want to be perfect! I'm okay with this! I'm fine! You girls are fine! We should be skipping the rest of this part! Because, my God, we make mistakes! Hello! People brush things off when people are acting crazy! Gosh, I wouldn't believe me either! I looked over myself! I think I was crazy! I'm crazy right now because we're spending so many paragraphs complaining and apologizing when we should be facing up against Robotnik! No! Applejack! Don't sing the next line! I don't care! Alright? Look! I'll put it in simple words! You make mistakes! I make mistakes! I'm not perfect! Sometimes bad guys can fool you! What the fucking do? Look at this! Bad guys are evil! Newsflash! Hello! Applejack, you make mistakes! You're my pillar! Fine! Okay! Rainbow, you make mistakes, but you also got psychological trauma too. Applejack has problems too. Rarity as well. Fluttershy's right now mad at the author. Pinky's mad at the author. And I'm mad at the entire author for wasting our time. There's a far bigger threat over there. Good. We're sorry. We're all sorry. I'm sorry for having such an idiotic brother who right now is being chauvinistic. Hey! Oh, shut up, Shiny. You know it's true. Girls! It's fine! Oh, Twilight. Finally, somebody in a Camelot Wedding Fix said what you wanted to say. And this is why I'm never good at this. You can't really tell me that you guys were actually believing some of Eggman's hoopla. Thank you, Pinky. Hoopla, were you? Hoopla. That's such a funny word. Well, maybe. Oh, for Pete's sake. Look, it's okay for none of us to believe about the changelings. We didn't even know changelings existed until that day. How are we supposed to know? For all we knew, they were just figments of our imagination. For all we knew, I was being an evil jerk. It's okay. People make mistakes. People are crazy. These things happen. Right now, there are far bigger threats. There are far bigger bad things. There's Eggman to worry about. There's Chrysalis to worry about. Discord. We should be putting our focuses on there. I don't care about the apologies. There, you're sorry. Apology accepted. Boom. 5 seconds. Done. We're done here. We've said what we wanted to say. I'm good. I wasn't even really being discorded. Do you want to know what I was doing deep inside when I was hearing all of that BS that Eggman and Discord were blowing? I was laughing. Because I think it's silly that you would think that I was still focused on this when I got over it. Yes, believe it or not, ponies get over things. I did. I figured it out logically. I thought it through it logic, and I used my brain. Sometimes there are bigger things to worry about than your own emotional issues. Now, are we going to fight the Eggman and defeat Discord and save the day, or are we going to have to listen to Applejack talk about her family problems? Well, now that don't answer that. Literally, Applejack, or I swear I am going to hit you with a silent spell so hard. Well, you know, there is my... I warned her. Now, next pony that wants to try to talk about her emotional issues rather than focusing on saving the day will proceed to be shrunk. Do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am! I don't hear you! Yes, ma'am! Good! I'm skipping over the next few paragraphs and you girls better come with me! Sonic, you got something to add? No. I've learned my lesson a couple of times. When a princess gets mad, you better stay out of her way. My girlfriend has reminded me this plenty of times. Speaking of which, I do hope Eggman didn't have any big plans for that army outside. What army? BAM! And that's the last time you try to mess around with these little ponies and hear you no good swap on! Such a lure. Oh, my life. She is so beautiful when she is angry. Alright, girls. Alright, everybody, time to round them up! Yeah, I called some friends over. What? I figured since we're deviating from this fic, I might as well bring in the Free Fires. Thank you, Sonic. No problem. Alright, now let's continue. Discord glared down at everyone. Oh, what? Everyone shut up. This should not be possible. No, pony. No, nothing. I turn my magic on can resist me forever. Cupid said, "Are you supposed to be the spirit of that makes anything possible?" Discord yelled out, "Don't you sass me, oversized paperweight." Eggman spoke. "Oh, will you stop acting like an overgrown child, Discord? I already know you have no appreciation for science." He held his hand to his chin. "To be honest, I'm amazed. Even with magic, I was sure they wouldn't be able to hold their friendship together after they were all faced with their past mistakes. Yet here they are, as close together. Science advances by being able to be proven wrong, and I was certainly wrong here. They're still together." And he lowered his hand and grinned wildly. "And you know what they say, the more the merrier." He pressed the button on his console of his Eggmobile, and a portal opened up next to the time meter, his left hand lifting up and going through it. The group hug came to an end, and everyone was separating and smiling at each other. And no, guys, you weren't missing some feel-good moment, trust me. After a moment, Sonic said, "Come on, girls, we got an Eggman to scramble and a Discord to put in order." A few ponies giggled at his joke. Tails nodded and faced forward, Sonic and her friends doing the same. "You tried to break us up, Discord and Dr. Eggman, but it didn't work. We're still gonna fight for our friendship, and we're gonna fight you too!" The others agreed in agreement with her words. Eggman called, "And I would be happy to do so. But it seems like you took a little too long to get to this point. So I'm afraid you're a little too late. Lights out, kids." Will raised an eyebrow at that, not knowing what he was talking about, or nosing the portal he had opened up earlier, above and behind him. As the timing ears arm keen through it, though, they heard the sound of a portal pulsing. They turned to look up to see the hand slamming down on him. "Slam! No!" Keen's Spike screamed as his hand slammed down on top of the group, a purple shockwave spreading out from it. When it came to contact with the ground, while Sonic and Tails stared in horror and fear, respectively. The hand lifted off them, the arm going back to the time meter and feeling the group underneath. Sonic was lying on his front, his head turned towards Twilight, and Pinky was on her back with her head turned to her right. Everyone else had been smashed into their sides. "What a frightful sort of force," Orbot commented. "Oh, that's gotta hurt." "Ah, that was deliciously deceptive, Doctor." Discord grinned. Cadence looked up at Eggman and screamed, "You monster! How could you?" You know, this would have been a really cool moment for Shadow to show up. Chaos control it. Save the day. Just saying, "Oh wait, you can't. Because Shadow didn't show up at this point in the game." Once again, problems when you try to stick too much to the games. Again, the Mario movie was awesome. And seriously, was that your only reason why Sonic was immune to discording? The whole Dark Gaia and Chaos Energy thing? That was your excuse? That was your BS excuse? Come on! Why couldn't we have had a discorded Sonic? We could have had Tails and the others help him out, get him back to normal. We could have had, Shadow show up or something. We could have had Sonic's brain be fixed by his friend, by showing how good of a friend he is, or by showing how much he's connected. Or we could have had an evil side for a while, but no! You had to bring up this bullcrap, which, coincidentally, doesn't make Sonic a better character. It lessens him. It weakens him. It takes away from anything cool we could have had. Why are you depriving me of something cool, Fick? All I wanted was a discorded Sonic, and you couldn't even give me that! Oh, spare me trying to make your voice loud, Cadence. You got a long ways to go before you could get the Royal Canterlot voice or whatever down. Besides, that was just to soften them up. Now they're melty makers. He snapped his fingers, and the shield that had been holding Spike, Shining, Tails, and Cadence went back down, starting from the top and going down, just like Twilight and Shining's force field spells. As soon as he got down past them, Shining and Cadence immediately ran towards the group. As if predicting the answer, the time meter lower right arm out, it grabbed a couple in his right hand. Tails having grabbed Spike just as he was starting to run so he wouldn't get smashed by it. "Stay away, unless you two want to go first. I have a time meter, and I'm not afraid to use it," Eggman said. "You can't do this to them!" Cadence shrieked. "Oh, what are you going to do about it, dear Cadence? Your odds have no effect on a time meter. What makes you think you could do any better?" Discord mocked. "Come on, you don't need to do this. You already made sure they can't take you on now. That's enough, isn't it? Just let them go!" Shining shouted. Why do so many people not get this? Villain! Villain! Bad guy! Don't care! And this isn't just a fic thing. This is a worldwide thing. Like, somebody sees somebody doing something evil and they're like, "Oh, come on, that's enough, right?" No! They're villains! They see a crazy person stabbing a person. Why are you stabbing that guy? 'Cause he's crazy! Villain! Bad! Like to hurt people! Gah! Eggman held a hand to his chin. Well, I suppose I could be a good egg sometime. He looked up after a moment. I'll tell you what. If any of you have any last words you want to say, I'll let you say them. Canes cried, What? You can't, that's... Eggman growled, You're wasting my time and patience. Either speak now or forever hold your peace. Shine gritted his teeth as he glared up at Eggman. This human. What gave him the right to do anything he had done? Why did this creature obey him without question? How could he do this to Twilight and her friends that the plan completely changed all of Equestria and Sonic's world? That's his last thought. His expression turned sorrowful as he turned his head to look at his sister and her friends. They were right there, at least 10 feet away, and he couldn't do anything to help them. Do you know how it feels to see someone who means more to you than anything lying there in front of you hurt, and you could do nothing but watch them die? And Sal's words echoed in his head. Shining felt tears come to his eyes. The situation was hopeless. And Celestia and Luna couldn't harm the Time Eater. What choice did he have? The best he could do was cast a shield spell around him, but the Time Eater would eventually break through it with its other hands. He couldn't keep casting it forever. He wasn't ensure his sister and friends were still alive. He couldn't see any movement. Was it too late already? I think you'll find that things we say, we end up regretting are the most things we say in our anger, because they're often the last things we say to someone. The tears began to fall as Shiny remembered those words. He also remembered the Changeling invasion and everything that happened before that. He remembered asking Twilight to be his best mare again after the Changelings were repelled. But what else had he said? Did he apologize for his... No. None of that. Stop. Phase into real wedding, return to Crystal Empire, King Sombra, all happening in such a short amount of time. His current state of mind, he finally couldn't remember if he said he was sorry to his sister. Now it looked like it might be the last thing he ever said to Twilight. Pressing his hose down on top of the Time Eater's hand, Shiny continued to push himself out of his grip. Finding him be holding him hard, he looked at her towards his sister and cried, Twilight, I'm sorry about what I said to you. I said such awful things to you because I was hurting. I should have known you would have accused your old fool Sarah without good reason. I'm sorry I hurt you worse than any of the bullies you asked me to help with at school. Canes whimpered, Twilight, you can't be gone yet. Please get up. Shiny desperately said, Please don't give up. I believe in you. A familiar voice called, Who? Vic? What? Who said that? Was that Amy, Big, Knuckles? Who? Who said that? You can't just say a familiar voice and not expect us not to know who it was. You're telling us familiar. Now you're just transcribing the game, because we would hear this if this was a game, but we don't know who said that. I'm just gonna say it was a skipper. That's right, the skipper from Gilligan's Island said this. That's right, buddies. There. We're done. Another familiar voice, the female one, called, exclaimed, We know you can do it. Tails, Shining Canes, and Spike looked up to the right, and a piece of stone floating in the air. Standing on top of it was Amy, Big, and Knuckles. Come on, you guys. Smack them! Knuckles called while thumping his fist together. Eggman turned and glared at him. Not you! Flash of green appeared in another floating stone, from which Shadow appeared with his arms crossed. You've got this, Sonic. Guys, you know, a lot of Sonic fans who played Sonic Generations were a little miffed that the rest of the supporting cast was reduced to being nothing but a cheering squad in the game. Anyone know something? They're right! They're right! That's all that's happening! It's that everybody is just shouting out platitudes to Sonic! Seriously, they are doing nothing! Shadow should be doing something! Knuckles should be doing something! But they're not! Once again, we're confining ourselves to the game! You don't need to do that! You can have the others interact! So no, I'm gonna sum up! You remember the game? You remember Sonic Generations? That's what is going on! Does the rest of the element, just the rest of Sonic's group are coming in to throw in tears, and so are the rest of Ponyville somehow. How did you guys get here? We don't know! Vic, how did the rest of them get here into the Time Leader's lair? Did they all get on Canterlot and... You know, it makes more sense in the games for everybody to magically appear here because it's the game. It follows the game. It's the game's plot. That's okay for them to do that. It makes no sense in effect for everybody in Ponyville, including their mom... Oh, hi, Derpy. Hi! To show up here with no explained reason! Just, no! I get it! Platitudes and all that, cheering them on! You don't need to follow generations this hard! Alright. And no! I'm not reading this! No! Gag was secretly sweet and disgusting displayed. Can we just... He stopped short when he noticed a glow similar to the earlier flashes coming from Sonic and the Element Bears. What's this? They're somehow using the elements of harmony? Discord wondered. Not just the elements of harmony. That's the light coming from the Chaos Emeralds too! When did the Chaos Emeralds finally get here? Discord smirk. What, that's all? No problem then. He held up his eagle talon, an yellow roar surrounding it. As soon surrounded the Chaos Emeralds, the console stopped spinning. The Chronicles closed his eyes. Absurdly were going to be dragged to him like the elements of harmony were the last time he was free. But his eyes reopened when he felt something else. Looking down, he saw the Chaos Emeralds were beginning to glow brighter. What are they doing? Down on the ground, Tim's bracelet, which was still on Sonic's left wrist. Didn't he put that back on the pillar thingy? Began to glow green. The same color green as the shield Chip created around Sonic when he sent him back to the planet's surface. The same green that appeared underneath the Chaos Emerald's glow as a voice whispered as if in everyone's heads. Sonic. With that, the green and Chaos Emerald's glow suddenly overpowered Discord's magic, dissipating his yellow aura completely. What? Eggman growled. It's a little late for that, Discord. The Emeralds have been listening, you know, and after all the friendship they've been hearing, they're not going to listen to you anymore! I swear to God, if Live and Learn, Open Your Heart, It Doesn't Matter, or Seven Rings in Hand do not show up at all in any of these song bits, I'm going to be miffed. So, come on. Let's start off with the first one. Open Your Heart. That's a pretty basic song to play. What? You had Open Your Heart gift wrapped to you, and you refuse to use it! Why? Why are you allergic to Open Your Heart? Use it! It's probably better than 99% of the remixes you got on here! Ah! Chaos Emeralds began to rotate in a circle again. After a few seconds, he lifted Sonic and the Element Bears off the ground. All of them turned to the Time Eater's direction, flowing in their stomachs. Sonic's right hand began to twitch and close to a fist a second later as he opened his eyes. As Twilight and her friends regained consciousness, they looked around confusion. He said, "Come on, ladies. We got chaos and harmony. Let's show these clowns the real power of friendship." The ponies looked at him and nodded, determined expressions. They all puffed out their chests. A beam of yellow energy seemed to shot out the ground, engulfing them. The constant animals were forcing everyone else to look away. When the light had cleared and everyone looked again, everyone except Sonic's friends and Dr. Eggman was surprised by what they saw. While Sonic had changed to his usual gold-yellow, red-eyed supersonic form, with his quills pointing upwards, the Element Bearers had the Chaos' emerald power challenged into their trinkets, and to them, the power be changing as they had changed Sonic. I'm okay with this. Fluttershy's yellow coat had become completely white. The butterflies that were cutie mark had become dark blue with outgrown antennae, and her eyes cedar blue. Her mane and tail still pink, flying out, making them almost look similar to Princess Celestia and Luna's, though without the ethereal look and flowing. The biggest change, though, was her wings. They could no longer look like regular Pegasus wings. Instead, they looked like large bird wings, much bigger and longer than their normal wings. Applejack's coat had changed from orange to a dark brown. Her cutie mark now changed from red apples to green apples, while the front of her mane looked like it always did. green apples aren't exactly the best. The hair in her ponytail becomes spiky, and the hair in her has hair tail. Her eyes sound light blue, and she until her head process up her head. Pinkie Pie's coat managed to change to a deep red. Her kiwi mark now had 2 yellow balloons with 1 blue balloon in the middle. Her mane and tail still wild, though they flattened out in places. Her eyes were now a bright green the party can stuck out of her tail. The rest of her now contained within her tail. Rarity's white coat became a dark blue with now still blue butterflies of fire-sized pink. Her eyes were deep purple. Rainbow Dash's coat changed to cyan to white. Twilight's coat had gone from lavender to gold brown color. Ugh. I'm sorry, but these descriptions are not interesting. Twilight's eyes began to adjust to their new appearances and power. Discord stared in disbelief at the way become. Oh my chaos. The Chaos Emeralds did this to them. Orbot looked up at Eggman and said, "Well, it's been nice working with you, boss." Eggman growled, slamming his right fist down on the Eggmobile's console. Opened a portal behind the Tiny Ear said, "Fall back!" In response, the Tiny Ear floated backwards, fancy through the portal. Without a word, Sonic and the superpower element bearers floated up and looped around before flying formation towards the portal, leading the team through. As she watched the other's surface begin to change to like a reflective surface, Celestia thought to herself, "You're right about me, Dr. Eggman. I'm not quite the same I was 1,000 years ago." And, no, I'm not saying this. Do you know why I, Princess Celestia, rely on Twilight and her friends so much? Have you not figured it out? Because I am a ruler. You are my subjects. Do you want to know why I do this? Free will! It's not a complicated subject anymore. I want you to do things on your own. Be brave! Defend yourselves! Fight for your rights! Go! Be free! Be happy!